Hello everyone, I want to introduce you to the project that looks like one of the most popular full stack projects ever, YelpCamp. There is nearly 9,000 YelpCamp repositories in GitHub and probably many more that stands by other name. It is the final project of famous Cold Steel Web Developer Bootcamp Udemy course, which in my opinion it's still up to date. The best full stack developer course out there. By the way, me myself, I became professional dev after taking that course. And most people that disagree with that points out that it doesn't cover React. So I thought I would build that application in React. And here I am sharing it with you guys. So let's have an overview of the architecture of the app. So we have backend API with Node.js and Express framework and MongoDB as database, but we have React on the front end, and we are going to use React router, so client-side routing, and we are going to be calling our API, external API Cloudinary and Mapbox, but integrated in the different manner. For instance, we will upload images directly from the front end, and I draw that line from Cloudinary to backend because it's not possible to delete images from client side unless it's less than 10 minutes after it was uploaded. Similar to Mapbox, we will integrate maps on the front end, and on the backend we will use only forward geocoding when saving a new gym. So these two are going to be separated to repositories. For those of you that know the course, this is how original YelpCamp architecture was looking like. Everything happening in the Express application, including routing, and that application is using EJS as a view engine. So here I have listed some core differences between the projects. On the left hand side we have YelpCamp. On the right hand side, the project that we will be actually building. First of all, we will be targeting gyms rather than campgrounds. We will have separated repositories for the front end and back end. We will have client-side routing. Instead of Flash, we will use React Toastify to display the messages, and instead of EJS, we will use React. We will not deploy it to Heroku, as you know, you cannot deploy Node server to Heroku anymore, so it might be useful for everybody. We will deploy front end on NetLifey and backend on render.com. In addition, we are also will be using stable version of Bootstrap 5, Axios to make API calls, React Final Form, that is one of 4 most popular libraries that manages state of the forms. And in addition, we will be pushing code to GitHub to imitate real-life version control. Each of the parts of the tutorial will be on separated branch. Then we will raise pull requests to main branch and eventually accept it and merge it. So that's about it as it comes to introduction. This is how our app.js in our React app will be looking like. So we have Axios, we have browser router, we are protecting routes for, for editing the gym, for example. Yeah, it's all made with hooks, basic React hooks like use effect, use state, use ref, use location from React router, Mapbox. Yeah, so that's about it. Let's get started. New folder. Let's open this with VS Code. npx React app, and we're gonna call it front end YelpGym. and that is going to take a few minutes. In the meantime, let's create our backend folder. Let's call this one backend YelpGym. And let's install Express straight away. I will be using ES module, so we have to add it to our package.json file. And to run the server locally, we will be using nodemon, so we are going to add it to the scripts. App.js, we will call the main file. We don't have the app, so let's make it. There we go. Going to import Express. We need instance of the application. App.listen. I'm going to use port 3001 just because React application will be using 3000 by default. And we will say backend YelpGym serving on port 3001. Let's add one of the routes as well. Request response. Let's send Express app is answering. Let's try to start it up. npm run dev. Whoops, I didn't save package.json, I guess. Scripts. Sorry. npm run dev. There we go. And let's check if our route is answering. Express app is answering. Great. Let's check our frontend in the meantime. The app has been created. We will need to use React router, so we need to install the library for that. It's React, not the router, and React router DOM. Okay, let's see our app.js. We don't need any of this stuff right here. So let's clean up a bit. We can leave this. We are going to switch off the strict mode as well. We don't need that. Okay, save the file. We don't need any of this, any of this. Okay. I'm going to import browser router. Routes. Route and navigate. From React router DOM. Okay, and instead of the div, we will return browser router. Okay. As we don't have anything to show, let's create a screens directory. And first one gonna be landing page. .gsx. So, and all it's going to do is going to return div with the landing page. And the other screen that we will have, it's our index, but I'm going to call it just gyms. Okay. Now let's save it and try to import it in our app. We don't need navigate here. Import landing page, great. And import gyms. Okay. Inside the browser router, we are going to put routes. And first route will be path just slash, and element will be the landing page. Landing page, but this comes as an object like that. Okay. We need another one. I made too many. And let's say it's going to be gyms, and the element will be gyms. Okay, let's try it out. npm start. And it should open a new tab here with our frontend in React. Here we go, we have the landing page, and let's write gyms. We have gyms, great. So we have two separated applications. Here we have our React application running on the port 3000. Here we have our Express application running on port 3001. They are not connected now at all. So maybe before we connect them, let's set up our database. I'm going to add models folder to our backend, models, and then gym.js. We don't have Mongoose installed. Oops. Did I kill the process? Okay, npm I on goose. Start the server backup. npm run dev. Mongoose from Mongoose, and let's create the schema. Okay, it's a new schema. So title, that is a string. Price, that is a string as well. Description, everything will be a string for now. And location. On the bottom we have to export it. Export mongoose.model. Let's call it gym schema. Okay, so let's create the instance of our database. It will be in the app.js. We need to import mongoose as well. Okay. And maybe under the app. Mongoose.connect. Oh, let me see what was the default. MongoDB. Localhost 27017. And here we will name our database. Let's call it YelpGym, just like that. Now const database equals mongoose.connection. And we are going to add two more properties just to track our database in the terminal. So on error, console.error.bind database connection error. Okay, and then if it's successful, once it's open, and we have to provide callback functions here. Console log mongo database connected. Okay, let's save the file. And right, I do not have my local Mongo database running, so let's start it. Okay, and here we go. Mongo database connected. So let's make a test route to see if we can create a gym. Import gym, and then make gym. So const gym equals new gym, and we need title, let's say dungeon, and description real hardcore gym. Yeah, sure. We need to specify type of file right here. I didn't save this file. Now it's working. Await gym save. Okay, if we are awaiting, it has to be as async. Okay, we have to send something back, so rest.send gym. Moment of truth. It was /make gym. Okay, we got it. We have this underscore ID that is given by Mongoose. Let's check in the Mongo shell. Okay, use, what was the name of the database? YelpGym. Okay, show collections. Gyms, great. db.gyms.find. There we go. We will also need to seed our database, so I made the file with the names for the gyms. I will not go through it in detail, so please feel free to copy these files from repository to which I will leave the link down below in the description. So let's make a new folder, seeds, inside seeds, cities.js, paste, save. So now our seed helpers, not here, seed helpers.js, paste. Because we will be dealing with gyms, we have names, descriptors, and types of the gym, but that will be implemented later on in the project. So let's make our index file as well here. We will import Mongoose. Import cities. Okay. And how was it called? We have descriptors and names. Import and names. We will also need our gym model. Gym. And we need to connect to database. Okay. Now our seeding function. It's async function. Gym delete delete many and no details, so it will delete everything, and then the loop. Start from 0 to maybe not 50, maybe let's put 30, let's say, and increment for the each loop. Random 1000, it's 1000 series, so we will need the price as well, so add floor mark dot multiply by 100, but as well gym should cost not less than $10, right? So add 10 in the end. Okay. So in each loop we make in a new gym that has location, and let me copy template literal that I have here, but it's not gonna be random 25, it will be random 1000, and here as well random 1000. Okay, so each gym have location. Oh. And title. So for the title we need the the function that will take a random name and, well, random element from whatever array we are passing. So sample takes array. Mat floor, but we will pass here random, and we will multiply but by the length of the array. Okay, so we have math and random, multiply by the length, and math float from that. Okay. So title then. Sampler descriptors, and then space, and then the second part of our title. So sampler names. Okay, then close the brackets right here. And then we need to execute it. Set db parentheses like that. And after it's done, we close the Mongoose connection. Mongoose dot connection dot close execute. We need another set of parentheses here around all this. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's try to run it. So close current connection. Then we have node seeds index.js. Oops. Okay. This has to be cities.js. Seed helpers.js. Gym.js. Save. Let's try again. How come it doesn't provide this export? Let's have a look. Export const descriptors. Okay, I guess I didn't save that file before. Again. I is not defined. Let. Save. Again. Mongo database connected. Okay. db.gyms.find uh-oh. Yeah, great. We are never... Oh my god. We are never saving the gym. So await gym.save. Let's try again. Connected, fine. db.gyms.find. There you go. I see that the names don't pair up together as good as I thought. What we have? We have Powerful Hell, Muscle Nest, Meatworks, Terrible Hell, Wild Hole. Okay. For me it's okay, you guys can provide your own names. This warning is annoying, let's get rid of it. Use mongoose set query to false. Okay, so it should go before we connect to mongoose, I believe. And now npm run dev. Okay. So now we need an endpoint to which we will make a call to receive all the gyms for our index page on the front end. So let's delete this one. Oh. Yeah, so up, yeah, this is going to be get request. Gyms. Request response. So all the gyms will be gym.find and empty brackets. Aha, if it's await, it has to be async function. And then we are going to send our gyms. res.send gyms, just like that. So finally, it's time to do something on the React side. We are now in the front end YelpGym. we will need Axios to, well, we will use the Axios to make the call to our backend. So let's stop the server. npm Axios. And we are going to import Axios. Okay, and we are going to use two very basic hooks from React: use effect and use state. Okay. So first piece of state will be our gyms, our array of the gyms. Const gyms equal, not like this, what I'm doing, it's piece of state, gyms set gyms equals use state. And initially, so before we make an API call, it's going to be an empty array. So in the use effect, or if any of you is trying to make it in the class components in the React, you will use component did mount. So use effect, and we are going to make get request to our local server, which is running on the localhost 3001. And the route was gyms. Right here. We want to reach that endpoint. Okay, so that's supposed to send us gyms. So then we take the response. Let's just console log it for now. Response, just like this. Okay, save. So you might be thinking, oh, it's that simple, but I can tell you for now that this will fail. In the course, everything is in the single application, so you don't have course problems, and I can guarantee that we are going to run into some course problems because we are calling one application to another, and eventually we will deploy it in different places as well. So probably each of you who was trying to make their portfolio was frustrated with course issues in the beginning. So let's see. I'm gonna run npm start. Okay, we have landing page, and we want to go to, wait, let's inspect the page first. Console. Okay, let's go to the gyms. So access for the request at localhost 3001 gyms. So our backend from origin localhost 3000 from our React application has been blocked by course policy. No access control allow origin header is present on the requested resource. Okay, so let's try to fix that first. Okay, so here we are on the server side. We will install course to manage that. npm I course. Okay, and in our application we need to import that course from course. Okay, and the options the particular option that they want us to specify would be origin, right? Course options, and here we specify for now our local server, so it's localhost 3000. Without that slash, okay. And now we want our Express application to use that course. So app.use course, and here we are passing our options object here, course options. Okay, let's move it under the Mongo connection, maybe like that. Save the file, npm run dev. Okay, let's see if anything has changed. We will make a call once again. Now we have data, and here we have our 30 gyms. So what did we console log? We console log all the response, and the part that we are interested in is data and then gyms. Okay, so let's go to our React application, gyms. So we want response data gyms, but we don't want to console log it, we want to set it as our piece of state. So set gyms response data dot gyms. And we want this hook to run only once, so we need to pass an empty array over here. Okay, and now we will not be returning this div, we will be returning React fragment. Maybe how it was in the project h1, all gyms. Now the list, and inside the list we are going to write the loop. Okay, but we have to make sure that we have the gyms already. So we can write it just like that. If gyms length, so if it's more than one, more than 0. Okay, if this is true, then we are going to map over the gyms. You can write for each for loop if you like, but I will use map. So our piece of state gyms, and we will take each of the gym and its index. Let's abbreviate to idx. So li element, and we want to display title of the gym. Okay. Okay, so ternary operator, if we don't have the gyms, so maybe let's display just h2. No data. Okay, let's save it, and there we go. We have all gyms and all the titles are displayed right here. Yeah, and here we have a warning. It's not a big deal, but we can fix it quite easily, so let's do it straight away. Each child in a list should have a unique key property. Okay, so that's why we are going to use the index. Let's just attach it right here. Let's say gym. Let's just use the index straight away like that. Okay, let's clear the console, refresh. Okay, no more warning. So this is the skeleton of our application. This is what we will be doing all the time. We will be making API calls using Axios, receive the data from our backend, save it into the state, and then do something with it. Either it's login, displaying the gyms, whatever. So we connected our two sides of the application. Our front end is calling this endpoint that we can see over here. Our backend is receiving the request, grabbing the gyms from the database and sending it back for our front end. Next thing we will do, we will use GitHub for the version control. If you are aspiring developer or you're just starting out and you don't have GitHub account, I recommend you to make one. I will make one just now, not GitHub. Okay, should be straightforward. Sign up. Okay, Git. Okay, absolutely no. Create account. There we go. Let's say just me and a teacher. Continue. Free tier, and here we go. Great, we have the GitHub account. Sorry. Backend YelpGym. Okay, it will be public. Okay. Okay, let's go to our backend. Here we go. Git init. Okay, we need to make a file git ignore. New file git ignore. And here, just like that. Node module save. I think our main branch is called main and our local one is called master, so let's rename it. Git branch master main. I think it should work. Okay, now we are on the main branch. Let's add everything to our Git. We need to commit changes with the message setup, let's say. It's not commit, it's commit. Okay. Okay. Let's try to add the origin. And let's say we can push git push origin main. So after I ran that command, I got access denied message, and because I use 4 different GitHub accounts because of the policies of the companies I work for, I need to go through advanced setup to keep all my credentials to all my accounts in the same file and switch between them smoothly. And I carried out of the video because it could be really confusing. But if it's your first GitHub account and you're connecting to GitHub to your Git first time, you should be prompt to put your GitHub username and then password, and after that command should be executed successfully. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make another branch. So cd backend YelpGym. And to create new branch, git branch stage 1 setup. So now we should have 2 branches. Yeah, so git checkout stage 1 setup. Now we are on stage 1 setup branch, and I'm going to push this branch to the origin as well. Git push origin stage 1 setup. Okay, let's check our GitHub repository. So we have main. Let's refresh. We have main and stage 1 setup. The reason I have done it is because we will be pushing all the changes to the main, and I want this branch standalone, separated, so I can share it with you in the description below. So now let's create another branch. Git branch stage 2. Let's call it grad. Git checkout stage 2. Okay. And we will continue to work on this branch on the backend in the next video. Now let's do the same for our front end. Okay, new repository. Front end. YelpGym. Front-end YelpGym. Public create. Okay. We don't need to do this step and this step because it's a React application and it's already there for us. Let's make a commit. So we also have to change master for main. Okay. Now paste the command. Oh, we forgot to add. Add everything. Now commit. Let's add a remote branch. And let's try to push. There we go. So now on our profile we should have our code in second project, and it's saying 2 commits because first commit was done automatically when we run command create React app. The same process, let's create our other branches. Checkout. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 branches now here. Stage 2, not like this, stage 2 CRUD. Git stage 2 CRUD. That's it for this video. In the next video we will implement full CRUD functionality. We are going to add another 2 components in screens directory, set up post request to create new gym. We will also add another hook, use navigate from React Router DOM, and so on. I will try to release new video on the weekly basis as long as there is interest. So if you're interested in building this application in React, let me know by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Also, please point out if you found any mistakes that I have done or something is not clear. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.